Warning, the following video contains harsh language and dirty jokes. If this offends you, please fuck the hell off. If not, welcome aboard, and let's get on with the review.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, that guy from Team Niederdorf, bringing to you a review of Shimoneta, a world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. And in case you didn't motherfucking hear the narration before, or read the motherfucking title, this is gonna have a bunch of motherfucking goddamn swearing, because I feel that would be doing this show a goddamn motherfucking injustice, not disjustice. You know, when disservice and injustice and made disjustice. Don't fucking judge me. I love this show. Now, let's get in the meat and potatoes. Let's get to the cock and balls of this motherfucking review. Let's get up in its motherfucking taint. This show has a protagonist where people run around with underwear on their head and shout obscenities. If I'm offending you, click away if you haven't already, because that is this show in a nutshell. Has great character development, great comedy, surprisingly good action, surprising good amount of heart. But, and I'm just going to run through the cast list here of your characters to get your ragtag group together, and we're going to get this shit rolling. So first off, we have IMA, voiced by the ever-so-lovely Jamie Markey. She's in a bunch of other ecchi shows, and you will know her voice when you hear it. I mean, seriously, the opening of the show has her shouting cock and balls. I can't do her voice, but anyhow. She is the founder of an organization called Socks, where she runs around town because it is under, you know, heavy security from the Decency Squad, which is basically ruled porn and swearing and all that other stuff that really hits you hard when you turn into a teenager, into adulthood, that runs rampant. And you know, it's natural to have feelings because we go through puberty and all we want to do is fuck, whether we want to admit it or not. That is what we want to do. And apparently that's now worse than goddamn murder in this show. Like, you could say like dick sizzle or something like that. I think is like the first real bad word said in the show that like set off the alert going like, oh shit, this person swore. Oh, detention for them, you know, take them to jail and shit, because they said dick sizzle while looking at porn, in which they bought motherfucking flamethrowers to burn the porn. This is in the first goddamn scene of the show. Anyhow, IMA is sick of this shit. She's like, this is natural, you know, family. I say you know a lot, just letting you know now. She came from a family where, you know, she had a relative of sorts who taught her this stuff. And that leads well into Josh Greel's character, Tanuki. Tanuki? They stop using his name halfway through and start, like, abbreviating it. So, he is the son of a former public deviant, if you will. You know, he's behind bars because he was shouting obscenities and he throws condoms everywhere. And that apparently lands you behind bars for years. So, sorry, kid. I know you're having a good time telling dirty jokes with your old man, but I gotta go to jail now because society's a fucking dick. Then we have Anna, played by the ever-so-lovely Monica Rial. She's awesome. She plays the pinnacle of this society, the perfect innocent girl that believes as long as something is righteous, it must be good. And this goes into a nice character development moment for her. Whether you want to call it development or development is up to you. But she eventually gets to the point where she doesn't know how to act upon these hormones and feelings she eventually gets, and figures if something like that feels so good and so pure, it must be righteous, therefore it can't be wrong, which is the exact opposite of what her mother, who's the head of the Decency Squad and whatnot, in charge of like the legislation to get all this shit banned, has said. So Tanuki wanted to go to this school. It's like top of the line purity. He wanted to go there for her because when he was a kid, after, you know, his dad went to jail, he was ostracized from society, and she was the first person to just go up to him and not care what he had done. And she doesn't remember this, but it really was part of his motivation. Now, he still has some of his, you know, dad's traits, you know. There's a scene where they're on a bus and Gorky gets accused for grabbing a girl's ass, and then he's like, sorry miss, I did it, let's call the police. You know, all sarcastic and shit, and that's when we run into our very first IMA encounter, and apparently it's just terrible to be shot. First thing she shouts is cock-a-doodle my pussy. I mean, come on. That doesn't set the tone, I don't know what does. There is a lot of good moments of them just trying to figure out how to get society so far out of this stick it is shoved. I'm going to rephrase that better. They're trying to figure out a way to pull this stick out of society's ass. Because as it stands right now, it is so far shoved up there. And I mean, saying heck was considered swearing. I mean, come fucking on, man. Heck? You're gonna go to heck. Okay. I mean, I guess you can get that in there. Like, you're gonna go to heck. As opposed to you're going to hell. Which I think you might be able to say because that is a place if you believe in the Bible. So this is like if the conservative part got their way, this is how society would turn out. And some of these kids are so far gone that when they see dirty pictures or, you know, animals fucking, they don't know what they're looking at. So, as I said, it is up to IMA and Tanuki to get together and spread how to do things. Like, first we're going to expose them to a little bit of porn, you know, maybe a breast shot here, some dirty pictures. Now we're going to show them some sex. Now we're going to teach them maybe how to jerk off, like a manual, because we need this shit now. As they were all trying to talk anyway, but you couldn't say penis or vagina or something, because your sensor would go off and you get hauled off by the decency squad. And the only reason, actually I'm not going to spoil that for you, but there's some reasons why some of these characters can swear without being caught by the decency squad, and it's actually pretty cool. Like, I like the idea behind it. Anyhow, along the way we run into Kosuri and Hyoka, and Hyoka is an artist who's apparently like one of the best in the country, if not the world, but she sort of hit a creator's block where she was obsessed with one of the characters and that is all she could make. So it was up to Socks to sort of get her out of her funk and maybe use her to further their cause. And then Kosuri, I can't really duck into her character too much without spoiling things, but she's essentially the little sister character. Not the lolly, that's what Hyoka's for. Kosuri's the little sister character whose haircut looks very resemblant of a dickhead, and yes, they do mention this in the show. But if you're looking for a show that has a lot of dirty jokes and likes to play with words, you know, because some of the stuff they say isn't exactly, well, I mean, all of it's obscene, but some of it isn't like your exact, like, you know, shit, motherfucker, turd, cunt, puss. I swear there's one scene where they just took George Carlin, 7 words you can't say on television, and Jamie just said them over and over and over and over again, and I fucking lost it because I just flashed back to George Carlin. I'm like, oh man, whoever wrote this, I think it was John Bergmeyer or something, like whoever wrote this knew what they were doing. That was great. And all the performances in here are pretty solid. Goriki's just another student council member who's in charge of like the schools. I mean, they're in charge of the school council and they're sort of an assist to the decency squad. And this may seem a little scatterbrained, but while we're on the topic of student council, to more build out Anna's character, she doesn't stand for anything smutty or dirty, and some of the shit she does is damn near superhuman in this show, and it's just hilarious to see like that old school sort of slapsticky, like this person becomes super strong whenever they try to do something a little off or ordinary, and then add that extraordinary twist to it. I liked it. So it's a nice development story of how do we get society to not be so far up their, have their head so far up their ass that, you know, swearing and whatnot and dirty jokes and sex and porn and whatever the hell you want to call it is okay in doses. Like, we should be able to laugh at this shit. We should be able to express ourselves without being condemned by society that's saying like, hey, I like to fuck. Like, apparently that's a bad thing saying, hey, I'm a dude, I like to fuck. If you're a chick, hey, I'm a chick, I like to fuck. I like to fucking rub one out once in a while. That is stuff they're trying to do here. They're like, it's natural. People have been doing this for hundreds and thousands of years, and it's only until recently where we've had people so far gone where they'll see dirty pictures, or in a few cases, animals fucking, and they just think it's a wrestling match. I mean, come fucking on. Really? Like, they were so far gone, they saw nothing dirty about it. And this plays on later, but this season is solid. The character development is solid, and the amount of heart in this show is surprising. And there is actually good bit of tension throughout the show between initially Socks and the Decency Squad and then another outside force, which I can't get into because I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. So, you know, if you have the Funimation Now app, it's up there right now. All 12 episodes completely dubbed. If that's your thing, go for it. The sub's been up for a year. I waited because I knew they were probably going to get some of these people to do it, and perfect. Or you can go on Funimation.com right now and order yourself the limited edition box set, and you too can become a member of Socks, complete with your own flag and own tube sock. You know what it's for. And I think they give you a box of tissues. I'm not sure. Let me look this shit up real quick. Shimoneta. Funimation. Come on. Funimation. Bring this shit up. Okay, let's just go to fucking shop. You won't take me to Korea. Okay, they do not give you tissues, but they do give you a nice Socks decal, flag, pin, a bunch of special features and whatnot. And you can get the whole special edition set, DVD Blu-ray, for $63.74, or you can get the regular version for like $50 or something. Or you could pay $60 a year and get that Funimation subscription. And no, I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just, if I like a service, much like how I got this shirt, Star Wars Collector Core, I do unboxings, not paid by them, I'm gonna pimp it. Seriously, I have fucking band posters, superhero posters, TV posters all over my room that I don't mind showing off because I like this shit. But anyhow, if you're in the mood for good laughs, a good bit of heart, and some swears that you might have not heard before, or, you know, some wordplay you appreciate, especially if you appreciate wordplay, go check out this show. I can't recommend it enough. So anyhow, watch it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give it a rating or anything, because all that's subjective. But to me, I found this hysterical, funny, had a good amount of heart, had a decent enough love story in there thrown in. Very perverted love story, but it's in there. Few, in fact. But anyhow, I've been that guy from Team Niederdorf, and I'm going to see you next time, folks. And we're going to break on 3, and I'm going to see you next time, folks. And I just fucking said that, but I don't care. 1, 2, 3, break, cock, and boom!